Air changes per hour. In the United States, the Occupational Safety and Health Association requires 4 air changes per hour. In a 10,000 cubic foot space, you would need a negative air unit running at approximately 670 cubic feet per minute to change the volume of air in the space 4 times each hour. The belief in the United States and other countries is that by removing and replacing the volume of air in the confined space, the number of fibers floating in the air will be reduced, thus reducing asbestos fiber exposure to the workers. This is a fallacy in most cases, and increasing the number of air changes per hour does not significantly change this fact. When the negative air unit is turned on, the unit pulls air directionally only for about 3 or 4 feet in front of the unit, only cleaning the fibers that float directly in front of the negative air unit's intake. Makeup air comes in through the decon chamber. Some of this makeup air will push fibers into the room away from the decon unit. Some fibers may be caught in a laminar flow between the decon and the negative air unit, float towards the negative air unit, potentially being removed from the atmosphere within the space. However, none of the fibers in the air outside of that laminar flow will be pulled towards the negative air unit, and every time a worker travels through the laminar flow, it disrupts the flow, causing fibers to be knocked out of the laminar flow and into dead air spaces within the contained space. Areas of the room where makeup air cannot push fibers towards the negative air unit will not have any fibers removed. Since fibers are being introduced into the atmosphere from materials being disturbed or removed, fiber counts constantly rise within the contained workspace. It is always best to keep fibers out of the air in the first place. This is most often best accomplished by keeping the asbestos-containing materials wet as they are removed. It is always best to use the proper work practices. Remove materials as intact as possible. Prompt cleanup as you go. Engineering controls, use of water and HEPA vacuums significantly help. This keeps fibers out of the air in the first place. Things to understand. Cal OSHA requires negative pressure containments for Class 1 work. Cal OSHA requires 4 air changes per hour for negative pressure containments. Cal OSHA requires 0.02 pressure difference for negative pressure containments. Negative pressure helps assure Janus containments do not become oxygen deficient. Air changes per hour are designed by Cal OSHA to lower the amount of fibers floating in the air in an asbestos containment, but how we use them defeats this purpose. Air changes per hour does not do a very good job of reducing fiber counts. It is best to use proper work practices and engineering controls to keep the fibers out of the air in the first place. Thank you for taking today's training. Please proceed to the quiz.